To our Honorable Chairman, Congressman Ferginel G. Biron, MD, members of the Board of Directors, fellow founders and shareholders, our partners from the Development Bank of the Philippines, headed by Mr. Benjamin Castillon and Ms. Susana May Antonio Cruz, our external auditor, Mendoza Querido and Company, our compliance officer and legal counsel, Attorney Mylene Villanueva, esteemed guests, APMC staff, good morning. Welcome to the 7th Annual Stockholders Meeting of the Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod, Incorporated, formerly Allied Care Experts Medical Center Bacolod, Incorporated. I have the privilege of presenting to you the major highlights of the past year 2022. The first 5-star hospital in Negros. This is our dream. This is our promise. It is our dream, in keeping with our vision, to build an excellent healthcare facility with global standards through holistic patient care, quality training, innovation, and research, which will serve the healthcare needs not only of the people of Negros and the neighboring provinces, but also those in the Asia-Pacific region. The name Asia Pacific Medical Center reflects the board's thrust to pursue the highest safety standards in hospital care and services, and to position the hospital as a global medical facility. Hence, Asia Pacific Medical Center Bacolod will take care of the health needs not only of the local but also foreign nationals. To ensure that this goal is achieved, it will seek accreditation with the Joint Commission International, or JCI, an internationally known accreditor of hospitals, whose mission is to improve the safety and quality of care in the international community. Reaching our dream is a journey involving 1,000 meetings of our hardworking and dedicated founders with our architects and engineers with a goal in mind: to build a meticulously and carefully planned, beautiful hospital. The COVID pandemic presented a challenge to the world. Our construction, specifically our timeline, was not exempted. But such adversity became an eye-opener for us to make the necessary changes on the hospital, while on the early planning board stage, to make us highly adaptable and responsive in times of pandemic, saving us significant amount of potential monetary loss. Hence, revisions were made in the hospital plans, which were previously approved in December 2018. Revisions were made particularly in the emergency room complex and laboratory in order to make the hospital pandemic ready. So there will be separate emergency room, operating rooms, and delivery rooms dedicated to infectious cases, which will be equipped with HEPA filters, negative pressure, and ventilation systems. Semi-private rooms were also converted into private rooms. On September 28, 2022, the Department of Health approved the said revisions and issued a new permit to construct. On November 20, 2022, we signed the contracts with new designers who could work in close coordination with our project management team in order to hasten the realization of the hospital project. This step, together with the easing out of restrictions due to the COVID pandemic, created a steady increase in construction accomplishment. As of May 2023, total accomplishment is at 35%. The progress of the construction will be discussed in more detail by our diligent and hardworking construction chairman, Dr. Jimmy Pasete. The company was granted the permit to sell securities through an initial public offering of 3,600 shares by the Securities and Exchange Commission on March 28, 2022. The securities are offered mainly over the counter through the company's employees as salesmen. The company also embarked on marketing strategies to reach prospective investors via multimedia. Brochures were distributed, social media were used, and 2 large billboards will be built along Lacson Street. The billboards project what has become the tagline of APMC, the first 5-star green hospital in Negros. As of December 31, 2022, 503 blocks, equivalent to 5,030 shares, have been sold. On September 27, 2022, the company submitted its revised manual on corporate governance before the Commission. It substantially adopted in its manual on corporate governance all of the recommendations under SEC Memorandum Circular No. 24, Series of 2019, otherwise known as the Code of Corporate Governance for Public Companies and Registered Issuers. The company endeavors to comply with these recommendations. It is committed to a strong corporate governance with transparency and accountability as its hallmarks. To ensure that it will adhere to the highest standards of good governance, the Board of Directors appointed its compliance officer on April 5, 2022. As an initial step to comply with the adopted leading practices on good governance, the Board had created board committees such as the Corporate Governance Committee, the Audit Committee, the Nominations and Election Committee, and the Remuneration and Compensation Committee. The directors have also started trainings in corporate governance provided by the SEC accredited training providers such as the Center for Global Best Practices and the Institute of Corporate Directors. Examples of such training are the Professional Directorship Program attended by the CEO and Corporate Secretary as Governance Professional attended by the Corporate Secretary. Other directors also attended various training, including the following. Management believes that the strategic location of the hospital, the facilities and the services it will provide, and the people behind the hospital are sufficient to entice medical and dental specialists and prospective investors to consider the offer. The company will greatly rely on its organic salesmen and satisfied patients to spread the word about the facilities the hospital can offer. As a vote of confidence, Colegio San Agustin Bacolod invested and entered into a memorandum of agreement with APMC Bacolod, making the latter its base hospital for the training of its qualified students in the College of Health and Allied Professions and all related courses that the college may offer in the future that may require a base hospital, including the proposed College of Medicine. The company has no revenue in the past 6 fiscal years because it is still in the construction phase. There were construction and engineering modifications done in the design plans of the building for pandemic preparedness and to provide more ideal services once it will be operational. The construction may have slowed down, but it has never totally stopped. The target completion date of the building will be in the 4th quarter of 2024, and operations will start in the 1st quarter of 2025. Last June 2022, the company was able to avail the first tranche of the loan previously obtained from the Development Bank of the Philippines, amounting to 356,640,000 pesos to help finance the construction of the hospital. On April 27, 2023, DBP President Mr. Michael O. De Jesus visited the APMC site to verify the project. APMC Bacolod has submitted an application for tax incentives with the Board of Investments by registering the construction and operation of its hospital, which is an approved project or activity under the Strategic Investment Priority Plan. The application has been approved subject to further review by the Fiscal Incentives Review Board. If approved, APMC Bacolod will be entitled to tax incentives, including but not limited to an income tax holiday, a 5% special corporate income tax, and enhanced deductions. These incentives are expected to cushion the impact of debt services of the company, as it is estimated to offset 20 to 40% of the interest expense in the first 2 years of operation, 50 to 60% on the third year, and 80 to 90% on the fourth year, thereby maximizing income and optimizing shareholder value. At this point, we will compare the results of operations and the key performance indicators, or the KPI, of the company for the years ended December 31, 2022 and December 31, 2021. The data were derived from the financial statements of APMC Bacolod, which have been audited by Mendoza, Querido and Company. In 2022, the company was not yet operational, hence no revenue was recorded. Other income during the period December 31, 2022 is lower than December 31, 2021 by 80%. General and administrative expenses during December 31, 2022 is higher than December 31, 2021 by 344%. Loss for the period ended December 31, 2022 is higher than in the same period ended December 31, 2021 by 375%. This is due to the non-operational status of the company. There is still no income to sustain the expenses. The company has a low quick asset ratio for the years 2022 and 2021, which shows that it could not pay off its short-term obligations with its most liquid assets. This is because most of its cash is allocated to the expenses of the construction. The current assets of the company are being utilized for the construction of the hospital, which results to a low current asset ratio for 2022 and for 2021. It is expected to increase as soon as the hospital starts its operations in 2025. The debt-to-equity ratio for 2022 shows that the company uses its loan to finance the pre-operating expenses more than its equity. Moreover, the company has started to sell its shares to the public in 2022. The company is positive that the next year's debt-to-equity ratio will improve because more shares will be sold during that time. Regarding the net profit margin and return on equity, the hospital is not yet operational, hence data is not yet available. Since the construction of the hospital is ongoing, the construction in progress account of the company increases as well. In addition, this is where most of the company's resources go. The ratio in 2022 conveys that the company has more assets than its debt. The company has more assets than its equity for both years due to the ongoing construction of the hospital. The company is also selling its IPO shares, which could mean an improvement for these ratios in the next financial statements. Regarding the interest rate coverage ratio, the hospital is not yet operational. Hence, data is not yet available. As part of sound, disciplined, and transparent fiscal management, to which APMC Bacolod adheres to, Mendoza, Querido and Company has been engaged as the external auditor since 2019. I would like to take this opportunity to thank them for working with us this past 4 years. As my report comes to a close, I would like to thank our dear chairman, the visionary Dr. Ferginel Biron, who has time and again, both in times of calm and adversity, has demonstrated his wisdom and support towards the building of a world-class hospital to serve the healthcare needs of the community. I also want to acknowledge our compliance officer, Attorney Mylene Villanueva, to whom we give the demanding task of ensuring that APMC Bacolod conforms to the elements of good governance such as effectiveness, transparency, and accountability, to name a few. I would also like to acknowledge the hard work of the members of the board of directors, and the founders who are extremely supportive, hardworking, passionate, and deeply engaged. The founders, I believe, adhere to the wisdom in the Bible which says, "Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for men." I would like to thank our staff who have shown commitment, hard work, efficiency, and harmony. The office is a happy home to this family. To our partner DBP, thank you for your confidence and unwavering support for APMC Bacolod. Today marks a milestone in the journey of APMC Bacolod since it is the first time that the founders are joined by new stockholders. Thank you, stockholders, for your trust and confidence in this project. For you and the community, with God's grace, we will endeavor to deliver what we have promised, the first 5-star green hospital in the Negros Island. To God always be the glory. Thank you.